What's a crack a day, and welcome back to episode 6 of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, where we'll be going back into working on Petrograd, finishing off this side of the city right here. That's what we'll be doing today. Between episodes, I haven't done much between episodes. I rerouted this trolleybus line in along here, so we're going to have trolleybus come along here, maybe stop in front of the church or down at this point, and then it'll go out, feed this sort of side, and loop back around to here. Other than rerouting that, I put a few trees in, and just aesthetic things like that, but I haven't done anything major. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start filling this area in. I'm going to leave you, and I'll be back when I've filled this little bit out. Because down here we're going to be sticking in some hospitals and fire departments, and what else do we need to down there? Fire stations, hospitals, and we might throw another couple of things in there, maybe some shops and different things in the actual city itself. So I'll catch you back in a sec. And I'm back, boys. And what a fucking eventful trip this has been. So, as you can see, I did a little bit more than what I said beforehand. And the reason being is that my computer blue screened halfway through building this. I went away and I built this wee area out, just this tiny wee square here. Then I hit play and we built this whole hospital area. And we came down here, we built this sunken train station and even did the wee square in front of the church. And you know what? A computer blue screened and the recording is shagged. So, what we'll do instead is we'll walk through it and I'll show you all that I've got going on here. Because we did do a wee bit. The simple things that you'll see is I just put in flats around this area. I put flats around the front as a sort of idea of where I'm going to build the next sort of phase. I put in the railway line down to here before it goes over for the bridge, and I sank this train station. Now the way I did this was I took the level of land down just to above where the water is, because if you dig down in this game into random bits you'll get water come up through the ground. So I dug just before I got there, flattened a wee area out, put a train station in it, brought the railways up to the edge on either side. I then flattened the train like you've seen me do before for different levels of the train track. Take one down, next one, and then that'll give you a nice smooth slope. Did the same for this side, and then I got two bridges, one here for the train bridge going over, and one for the road bridge going over either side. So that was the sort of main build I had in that bit of video that is now missing. So I got that done. I also put in a wee hospital over here with lots of parking, really erratic parking. I was thinking about putting this in more uniform, but the triangular shape of this just didn't lend well to this at all. I also put in a wee trolley bus depot into this area as well. So these two are pretty close together, but I thought next to the hospital it kind of needs it. And again, I'll need to put all the paths in for all of this all after. So, anything else that I did? I don't think there was anything really else. I brought the train line across in behind the chairlift. I tried to get under, but for the life of me, the way you get things underneath these the cable cars is you need to sink the land down and build it underneath, and it was too much of a nightmare. And I actually got it to work, but it looked daft. It looked absolute daft, because if you can imagine going down on this boat, chugging along down here, and then you look left and you see the rail is lower than the water, you think next time this river bursts its banks it's going to flood this area out with it. It just looked absolutely fucking terrible. So we patched that idea and we took it in behind the cable car. Happy days. The idea being with this is If you're coming in from this side, you can go left or right along the loop here, and you can join the loop from this direction. And from this direction, if you're coming along, you can join the loop again the same sort of way. Now in this area, I'm going to I think I've made the decision. I'm going to put a food factory in here. I think that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to do in this sort of area, or maybe in here. But one of these two, there's going to be a food factory, and there's going to be all the rail networks in it. I think it's going to look fucking smashing. But that is all the progress I made so far. So I'm going to continue building into this area and this area here, and I've noticed that that isn't joining together. That is absolutely fantastic. Fandamidosi. And you know what? I was trying to remember the name of Fandamidosi earlier on because I was trying to tell my girlfriend about a YouTuber of that same name. So I've just reminded myself right then. Fucking this day's going brilliantly. Absolutely brilliantly. And as long as my computer doesn't blue screen again, we'll be hunky dory and everything will be fine. But let's get some flats right in about this. So that's too big for there. We'll get maybe a wee two-seater, I think. A wee two-seater in here. Right about there. There we go. Delete that road, so it's daft. We'll get a big bastard in this side. Now you'll see the lands at different heights there, which is gonna try and be an arsehole to me. We'll no play along with that. Got a big guy in here. Just hit the sweet spot right there. Lovely. And maybe try and get another wee two-seater in. Oh, fucking me. This game's just playing games with me a day. Fucking, it's doing everything I want today. I'm telling you, you should have seen my face when I blue screened the other day. Holy fuck. I was raging. Anyway. What we'll do now is we'll bring this. So this is actually a hill, if I mind right. It is indeed. And I was thinking about putting a brig or tunnel underneath here, which we will not be able to do. Which is a laugh. So let's see if we can get a bit of road over this, because I was thinking about carrying this one on straight and trying to take it over. Will you let me? About there? You will let me do it there, so that's cool. And then down here, flatten the land, boof. Just like that. And then, you see what I've done here? This is purely for aesthetics. The level crossings in this game, you can take roads right up tight to them. It's actually really lenient about where you place your roads, but they stick doing this wee boy here, and that is the level crossing barrier. And if you build a road right up here, it'll intersect your road with it, and it looks fucking stupid. So, no more of that. It maybe looks dafter doing it this way, but I'll take it a little bit further away from the railway line and then bring it down the side. So, that's what we do in that situation. Let's see, what can we fit in here now? Probably nothing, seeing as there's a hill there. But if we can't fit anything in it, it will be a park. That's how these things work. If you can't fit a building in it, you stick a park in it. Can we fit a big one in? We can fit a big one in. About there, maybe? There? Yeah, no. Does that look good? Does that look bad? Oh shit. I think we can make that work. Yeah, we'll make that work. Will that make that look good? And then we'll probably put a maybe like a tennis court. Well, put a football pitch, because I really hardly ever put football pitches in, and it's not the fact that they're not good assets. They're actually really good. They're a lot better than a tennis playground, because they both take one worker to run. But the tennis playground, I think I've got one built. Do we have one built somewhere? Yeah. Oh, it doesn't actually show you here. But basically, the tennis court takes a number of visitors of like 4 or something like that. And the football pitch takes like visitors of like 11. So they're actually better bang for your buck, even though they're slightly bigger. So, but I never place them down because I absolutely detest the game of football. I think it's the worst sport known to man. That's my opinion. Not many people have it, considering it's the #1 sport in the world, but I think it's a horrendous game. So I don't usually place them. Like I say though, that's only my opinion, and we probably should give them to the rest of the workers in the Soviet Republic, seeing as it is that popular. And also in this square here, this is the front square in front of the church, I put a wee Lenin statue and a hammer and a sickle, and then I'll be putting in pathways here, and I'll be putting some trees and stuff like that in here to make that nicer. What I'm going to do is, once I get this sort of area done, I'm going to start pathing this all out. I'll record maybe 5 minutes of that, and after I've recorded 5 minutes of that, I'll do the rest of it off screen because it is tedious. But let's get a fire station down. The other thing I did is I took out another 2 million ruble loan because we were running low on cash. We'll stick the fire station down maybe about there, maybe. I think I'm going to cross this road across here as well, if I can, if it'll let me do that, which it does, and then I'll take that. See, the problem is if you go from A to B here, it'll just do a straight road, but I don't really want a straight road. I want it to come off slightly off skew there and then curve nicely. So that's what I do for that, and then I'm going to stick down a few car parks for the cars. Stick it in sideways, that looks horrific. So does that. Now I like these small car parks for like really tight, like really awkward places, but they look absolutely shocking by themselves sitting out in a field. Room for, what is it, like 5 cars, tiny wee car park. It looks a bit daft. So I like either hammering them really close to buildings like this, or putting them in really tight spots. If you put them really close to buildings, they actually merge into the building and make it look as if they're one entity, which is kind of smart. It's a cool thing you can do with these small car parks. Let's see if I can also, instead of making that go to the main road, I think that's going to be our only option. I was going to try and get into this road as well, but that is not going to want to play ball. And then we'll stick down set up prefabs maybe, if they'll fit in there, which they will not. Oh, they will there, but that's a bit rough. See, if what I can do is I can show you right here a good use for those small car parks, right? So if I stick that in there, what this allows is while you're away at work, your wife gets a brilliant view into the firehouse. Watch all the firemen cutting about. And then if you take a small parking lot and you stick it right in close here, and delete this road before you do that, and the way you do it is, you might need to do some trial and error if you're doing this in your game, but just take it just so it clicks, but don't place it there. Just take it back just maybe a couple of steps more and then place it. The problem is if you do it right close, it actually goes into the building and looks daft. But if you do it just a little bit further away, it actually looks smashing. Stop that there, boom, and boom. And now we've got a wee park in there, and that means it's actually useful. Let's stick some trees in there after. Now, this area is just going to be a residential area. That's pretty straightforward, but I want to start planning the food factory. Now, this food factory is mainly just going to be for fun. It's probably a terrible position for one, but essentially we will be importing crops and we'll be exporting food. Now I want to be importing the crops by train, by rail, and we want to be exporting it by probably rail as well. Now if we go into our warehouses, we'll notice that the warehouse can take crops and receive food. They can do both. So all I need is a warehouse coming in off this railway, I think I'll probably need to not cross here. We'll just carry that along. Maybe have the rail track. What will we do? See how tight we can get in towards this cable car. That's pretty tight, to be honest. That's actually really... We could actually get something quite nifty going here. Just like that. If I do that and then take it off this side of the track, no, that's gonna look crap. Will you let me? Will you let me? The computer saying no? Yeah? No? No? Building in the way? Right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. I fucking love this game, I'm telling you. Look at it. No other city builder will let you do this sort of shit. Right, cool. No, 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 yes, yes, you will at one point. You will do what I want you to do at one point. That kind of works. It's not exactly what I want. Tell you what, I'm doing this all the wrong way around. All the wrong way around. Instead of doing that, because we should be doing this one first. Because this is the difficult one. Look at that. And as soon as I do it the other way, first time, doesn't even bat an eyelid. Cool. Now, here. Now I know this is a gentle slope up here. I think I'm going to just take these roads back to now. We'll place them in a second. Take them back to now, just so I can work on this side of the rail a bit better. We could have it further down, but that's just going to be wasted space. Could have it up here, but that's going to just be Yeah, right, okay, that's cool. So we'll just place it there now. What I was thinking about there, I paused for a thought. What I was thinking about is basically, you've got, every time you plan any of this rail stuff, you've got to think about traffic, rail traffic. Like, how's things going to work? Like, if you've got a train that's, say, the length of this station, if you leave another bit of track off the end of that, that's one parking space for a train waiting to get into the station. You see what I'm saying? So you can, if you think about how your trains are going to act, for instance, if you've got trains that length coming through these, you need to, like, that length of train, you've got to factor into where you place your signals and stuff. So that's what I was pausing for thought there. Well, I was just thinking to myself whether I should have a parking space essentially for a train, which I actually probably should, thinking about it now that I've done that, because I'm going to have a import and an export essentially. Because we're going to have a train that's waiting for food at the warehouse, but we're also going to need to take other trains in to drop off crops. So I'm going to need to have a space for a train to drop off whilst there is one in the train station waiting with food. That could be quite cool, but I don't know if that will reach the food factory properly. Go back to the food factory. Go back to the food factory here. We could place it in there and then ship over the crops with forklifts, but then it creates a problem with this road here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go away for a minute, I'm going to plan this out, and I'll be back. I'll see you then. Right, this is what I've come up with. So basically I've got my food factory down here in the centre. I've got a warehouse here for the intake of food, or the intake of crops, and one here for food. These can be switched around either way. It doesn't really matter which one's used for which, but that's what they'll be used for. I've also moved the cable car down here a wee bit, so it's more of down here. It was out the way of the train tracks because this was quite a squeeze to get it all in. But yeah, that's pretty much the essentials of it. I want to delete some of this line here because that just looks quite weird coming out like that. Take it straight first of all, and then take it curved a little bit more, I think, if it'll let me. That's a little bit better, I think. Yeah, so this will be a really fun job signalling all this when we come to do it. It'll be an interesting project when we come to it. But for just now, what we'll do is we'll take this road across here was what we're wanting. That's that junction we're taking across, which I think we will just do it for now because I was wanting to use this road, this centre road, as essentially our bridge across to the other side, our road bridge. Take that along to there, and then this here is where it steps up our level, so we'll flatten that out a bit, and then we'll take a road up there, and then this takes into this big residential place here, which we'll just do in a second. This leaves this area a little bit sparse for the time being. What I'll probably do maybe between episodes is this is kind of like it's not really the most realistic sort of railway track. So I might put in a few basically unused side lines for trains, essentially to pull up for engines or something like that. Maybe take one along to here, just a dead end bit of track, just little bits here and there. Make this look more like a realistic railway than just some random thing that's been placed. We'll maybe take one off there as well. Just different sidings. In real life, trains they need to push and buffer train engines will need to push the passenger cars from different directions and stuff like that. So we'll just put in something like that, might make it look a little bit better. We'll put down some trees around in that area, and we'll fill this out in a second, but we'll move on to this area just now. We will just, that was my phone, that should be on silent, there we go. Chuck that away. And we will put some more things. That was Chris messaging. You know who you are. Don't message me. No, I'm joking. But let's place down a few more of these bad boys. I wouldn't usually place them like this, but I think I will in this situation because usually I would try and get them along the side of the road, but I think that looks pretty good. Can we fit this bad boy here? We can indeed. Nice. And then I'm wanting to redo that road across into, oh no, I don't actually, I want to do a bit of road here first, like that. Cool. The reason I do that is because if I just do a straight bit of road there, I then can't connect it from the perpendicular to it. So if you draw a bit of road along here first, then you can connect straight to it, and it doesn't matter what angle this is, you can change it. You can just delete it up to the side here, and then you can say if I wanted to take it into the track, I could do it like that, or it just makes it a little bit easier. That's how I like to do it. So we'll just leave that there now, and we will stick maybe prefabs right up against the train line, because let's face it, who doesn't like to hear a train go by their house? My last, actually, every house that I've been in since leaving home has been next to a rail line. I don't know how. They're not fucking, they're not a common thing, like just find everywhere. It's just I've been unlucky, lucky, whatever way you want to look at it, to live next to one every single place I've been. Oh, that did not do that properly. So, but I mean, I think I'm pretty much used to the sound. I actually kind of like the noise of trains rocketing past or screeching to a halt. The house I'm next to, I'm in just now, I either have a train that just pelts past quick as fuck, or I have one that will screech to a halt, which is a big cargo train, and it just chills out there for about fucking 2 days, or like half an hour or something, and then carries on. So it's a fucking good mixture. Don't mind living by the railway line, don't mind the noise. There is a house at the end of the street though that used to be an old railway box, but I literally think their house like the ground must shake when the train goes by them like that. I don't think I could deal with that. As long as my ground's no shaking, I think we can manage. I kind of want to do this back to back with that road, just so we can get tighter. The tighter the better, so they say. And then we will sling this kiddie just along like that. Boof. Actually, let's hope that we can get this road up here, because if we kind of get this road up, it's no big loss. I suppose we could take it up here. Yeah, we'll be alright. We'll just do that. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine. That's fine. And then let's see if we can fit in just another two-seater in a space. It will play ball. It's just because it's beside infrastructure. So look at that. It just goes exactly where I want it to go as soon as I delete the roads. The joys. Perfect. Perfect. So if I stick it there, is that about where I'm wanting it? I'm just thinking for that road coming down this side. I think it will be. I think if I bring that along to about here, take this along to about here-ish, and then that road. Look at that. Look at that, boys. Fucking, I surprise myself sometimes. I surprise myself. Up here. What will we do in this area? Car parks, prefabs. Prefab? Yeah, I think a prefab will go in there, maybe. It's gonna be tight like a tiger. But I think we're just gonna squish one in. We'll see how that goes. It may work, it may not. It probably won't. We'll do this road first, I think. That has been the new way I found of putting buildings face to face. So before, what I was doing, putting two buildings face to face, and then I was trying to put a road like that, build it from side to side, and then hope the two connected. And in this case, it doesn't. Which, like that very example just proved, is a pain in the arse. But if you draw the road like that, then you get a node in the middle, you can just easily take it off. That was something I learned myself. So take it like that. That go, that will. To there. Didn't want a big turn, I want a wee turn, which isn't going to play ball. So just take it back a wee bit onto here. Now, some of you keen-eyed, eagle-eyed viewers will know that I am not putting anything in for power in this site, which is probably my downfall. I should probably be putting it in as I went along, but to be perfectly frank and honest, I put in this section here, I put in this section here, and then I realised I didn't do that, and I kind of thought, well, fuck it, we'll just do the whole city and we'll go back and put a power in when we come back to it at the end. So that's what we're going to do. I'll take this along. What I'm going to do with this one is we're going to take it to here, there, and hope that connects, and it does. Smashing. Absolutely smashing. And then we're going to carve it round like that. Crossing not allowed. I am not trying to cross anything. There we go. Don't know why there's a crossing tooltip there. That was interesting. We'll take this one up first, up to about here-ish, around to here-ish, here-ish, there-ish, that. Kish, bash, bosh. There we go. Boom. Fucking. Oh, I thought that wasn't going to connect there. I was going to say trust. The last one doesn't connect, but it did. So happy days, man. Happy fucking days. There we go. Boom. Boom. Connected. Everything's connected. Nice bit of dense, easy for me to say, dense urban area there. The main thing you got to worry about is to make sure this Kerry here reaches this station. Because if they don't, then we have a problem. Because then they can't get to their food, they can't get to their, well, they might be able to get to work because they'll probably work here, but we mainly need to make sure they reach one of these stations. When they reach these stations, they'll get to anywhere they want to go. So that'll be our bridge over the other side of the water. The next area is going to be in here. Now, I said earlier that I'm going to put a few shops in this area. I'm going to do a bit of buildings. Now that's a saying there. We're going to put more residential and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to end this episode here. Episode 5, I think this is. And I will see you next time where we continue filling in this. And I will say that probably you're 5 episodes in and saying, why the fuck haven't you pressed play yet? And give me a time. I'm trying to get a bonny wee city going here. I had power coming in, power in Brosbania and all that, but that's all been cut because we've been doing all these major works in Petrograd. So in the next episode we fill this area out. After that, we should be getting close to the point in time where we're going to hit play and at least get this stuff started running. Because if you actually look in here, we have actually got people ready to work. They just can't do anything because there's no power. So we'll want to start getting this running so we can actually pay some of this debt off. Because we are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 million rubles in debt. Good job. The exchange rate on that is terrible. Which is actually complete lies because it's about the same currency. But never mind. Next time, we'll see you, and we'll get back and finish Petrograd. Or get and do a little bit more. Catch.